7 of the NFL season as the New York Jets take on the Oakland Raiders. Hello again, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside Sam White.
And Bill Parcells at the end of training camp thought he had as good a team as anybody in the NFL. Today, they look a little bit out of balance. They go against the Raiders, whose slogan is, "We're bringing our A game to the Jets."
The Raiders come in at 3-3. The Jets at 1-5. Oakland, New York, net. Wonderful day in Oakland with Sam White. This is Kevin Harlan. The New York Jets losing last week. The Raiders winning in Buffalo. A spectacular day, as we said before. 61 degrees. A slight breeze over the northeast. Sunny skies for the remainder of the day. Michael Husted will kick it off for the Oakland Raiders. And we are underway. Aaron Glenn is deep back. And he'll get it on the fly at the 10-yard line for the Jets. Finds a seam and then is tackled and brought down by Marquise Walker, a reserve defensive back. You take a look at Bill Parcells in his third year as the head coach of the Jets, and Rick Mirer, 1-3 as a Jets starter.
Last week he found out just 2.5 hours before the game that they were going to go with Ray Lucas. He was injured during that ball game, last play of the game. Rick Mirer back in this one. We'll talk more about it. But watching him and watching his composure early is going to be important to the Jets' success today.
Second lowest rated quarterback in the NFL from his 27, 1st and 10. The pitch out to Martin, gets away for one, got a block from Mawai and goes down near the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a gain of 1. Tackle made by Russell Maryland. The Jets come in with the offensive line of Elliott, Jenkins, Mawai, the rookie Randy Thomas, and second-year starter Jason Fabini. Martin coming off his best game of the season, coupled with Anderson, Keyshawn Johnson, and Wayne Crevette, the wide receivers. On the tight end is Eric Green. Second down and 9 from the 28. Empty backfield for Rick Mirer. Short drop has the time. That one floats over the head of wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson at the 35. Incomplete, covered by linebacker Richard Harvey. The defense for the Raiders: Harris, Maryland, the great Darrell Russell, and Lance Johnstone outside linebackers. Greg Biekert leads them in tackles again. On one side, K.D. Williams. On the other side, Richard Harvey. And in the secondary, Charles Woodson, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Michigan. Other side is Eric Allen. The safeties, the hard-hitting Eric Turner and Anthony Newman. Now 3rd and 9 from the 28. Blitz is on. Mirer darting out of the backfield with time, has to get up to the 37 and is short. Greg Biekert shoves him out of bounds. So Meyer's a couple yards short. 3 and out on the first possession today for the New York Jets.
And the Raiders have chosen to come after Rick Mirer early, which is the way you'd expect it to happen. He obviously is coming in not as decisive as a normal starting quarterback. He has been basically yanked around here a little bit, not knowing all week long if he was truly going to be the starting quarterback until Friday. He said Friday, Bill Parcells asked him if he was ready. He said ready to go.
Tom Tupa's punt is retrieved at the 20-yard line by the ex-Denver Bronco Darian Gordon, and great special teams by Bernie Parmley, the ex-Miami Dolphin. 48-yard punt. And there you see second-year head coach John Gruden, the youngest coach in the NFL. And last year, the quarterback here was Jeff George. This year, free agent Rich Gannon signs from the Kansas City Chiefs.
A scrambler, pure pocket passer when he needs to be. Smart player, goes to his alternate receivers beautifully, and a field general on the field. He's right exactly where he needs to be. The Raiders need someone like him in that huddle. He's got a good blocker in John Ritchie in the backfield. And talking to Tyrone Wheatley yesterday, going against the New York Jets, he said it's the same monster, different mentality they faced last week against the Buffalo Bills.
The number 8 rated quarterback is Gannon coming into today. Second in completion percentage from his 22. First down and 10. Jets in motion. The fake end around, and here is the aforementioned Tyrone Wheatley banging up the middle for a gain of 2 yards on the play. Anthony Pleasant gets off the pile along with Jason Ferguson. Number 5 offense in the NFL for the Raiders. Sims making his first career start last week. Wisniewski, the All-Pro. Robbins, Napoli, and Lincoln Kennedy. Hoffman plays a lot, as does Wheatley, with Richie Brown and James Jett, the wide receivers, and Ricky Dudley is the tight end. Second down and 8 from the Raider 25 in a scoreless first quarter. Brown is in motion here. Handoff for a second time goes to Wheatley, following behind the block of the tackle Lincoln Kennedy and gets a gain of 3. That'll set up third down at about 4. The Jets defense today at 34, second time that the Raiders offense has had this kind of look. Had it last week in Buffalo. Lyle, Jason Ferguson, Anthony Pleasant, the veteran outside. Linebackers Lewis, Cox, Jones, and Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer comes from the Rams. Glenn and Mickens are the cornerbacks. Stoutmeyer, the ex-Cleveland Brown and Dallas Cowboy, and Victor Green, who leads the team in tackles, the safeties. Defense has been pretty stout the entire season so far for the Jets. Third down and 5 from the 27. Here comes Cox. There goes Gannon. Has to get to the 32. Slides for a first down up to the 34. Gain of 7 on the play. He's one of the top 3 rushing quarterbacks in the NFL, right back to Doug Flutie.
And he'll need it today. You see Brian Cox right here coming out of your screen. He's rushing from the blind side. He's going to be moving all over. That is one of the people they've got to account for, and it is important that that rushing quarterback, Rich Gannon, look at Cox coming off the side, what's called a swim move back to the inside. If Gannon's not mobile right there, he's stacked.
2 tight ends for the Raiders. They bring, in fact, one of them, bring him in the backfield with Wheatley. And here comes Brown once again from the 34. First time we've seen Gannon throw. And he tries to thread the pass in. Flag is thrown against the Jets, aiming for James Jett, and there you see the Pro Bowler, Aaron Glenn, who may have been guilty for New York.
Glenn is so quick.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. Automatic first down.
Aaron Glenn closes on this one just a little quick. The throw is actually a little bit late. Just a little turn in, hook pattern. You see Glenn get there just prior to the arrival of the ball. They're going to be playing a lot of man-to-man coverage. Both teams expect to see that from their opponent. Bill Parcells, of course, trying to find the right answers. His offense is not scoring enough points. They need to win on defense.
On the 45 with the penalty, 1st and 10. The pitch out to Napoleon Kaufman, dancing his way and diving up to the 47, picks up 2. Kaufman has the second best yards per average carry in the NFL coming into today.
The AFC West is a still wide open division in the National Football League. San Diego, the surprise leader at this point. You see the Oakland Raiders at 3-3. They move right up there with them. Nobody is out of this, even the Denver Broncos, who are obviously struggling after their Super Bowl year a year ago.
And losing moments ago to New England. San Diego taking on Green Bay right now. Here's a second and 8. He gets away from Ferguson. Goes outside, caught by the fullback John Ritchie near midfield, brought down by Roman Pfeiffer. Gain of 4 on the play. Let's check in with Jim Nantz in New York. Seattle lost to San Diego last week, and it's interesting to see Mays because no word this week on Joey Galloway. He is out until next February.
Trading deadline is over as well.
Third down and 4 from the 49. Good blocking by Kennedy. Affording time for Gannon, who has to get to the 45. Has the first down, and there he goes. Chased by Glenn, brought down at the 11-yard line. Aaron Glenn may be the fastest Jet, and he had to grab the 33-year-old Gannon after the 36-yard run. One of the best of his career. He's down at the 13.
Every quarterback coach tells his quarterback, set up, get your landmark back there, and then step up in the pocket. Go forward. Watch him. Go forward. Once that happens, all of those rushers are then behind you. Now it's a foot race, and it's just the judgment of Gannon. How far can I go before I concede the tackle? That time it's all the way to the 14-yard line, 13-yard line.
And the Oakland Raiders will call a timeout. Great running by Gannon. In fact, he's had 2 runs on this particular drive. And you can see the wonderful success they've had so far. Deep in Jets territory in a scoreless first quarter. With Sam White, Kevin Harlan here at Oakland in the Alameda Coliseum complex. For those of you watching Cincinnati, Indianapolis, we welcome you out here. The Colts winning their 4th game of the season. They had 3 wins all of last year. 7th play of the opening drive for the Raiders today from the 13 of the Jets after the 36-yard run by Gannon. And they send Wheatley off tackle, who carves his way to the 9 and picks up 3. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Wheatley, a great story, still playing with that bad shoulder.
He's playing really with a bad clavicle. It's not truly the shoulder. The shoulder you can put what's called a donut or an extra pad under the shoulder pad to help you, but this is more towards the front, towards the chest line a little bit. Playing with a lot of pain. It's his left shoulder. You'll see him deliver most of his blows with his right shoulder.
Wheatley, the ex-New York Jet first-round pick out of Michigan, 2nd down and 7. It's Wheatley again trying to dive up the middle, and Marvin Jones grabbed him after a gain of 3, which sets up 3rd down and about 3 down to the 7-yard line.
The New York Jets are closing quick on that running game, tackle to tackle. I'm sure the coaches upstairs are looking down there on that particular play. Had the quarterback kept the bootleg, he had a chance to walk it on in.
Sam, coming in, the Raiders lead the NFL with 12 red zone touchdowns. The Jets are #1 in the AFC in red zone defense.
And the Jets have given up 3 scoring opening drives this year. 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, and they're in range again. The Oakland Raiders are anyway.
3rd down and 4 from the 7-yard line. Gannon with time, got a block to the end zone, throws, and looking for Terry Mickens in the corner. That's incomplete. Gannon was whacked on the play, gets up slowly, and the defense for the Jets will hold the Raiders to a 3-point try.
And the pressure's coming from Victor Green from the inside. Safety along, of course, with the outside linebacker who's rushing. That's Roman Pfeiffer. They rotate a lot of linebackers here for the New York Jets. Inside and outside guys. The reason is just to keep them fresh. They feel like they can all play well.
Michael Husted will try a 25-yard field goal. He has had kind of a so-so season, 9 for 14. With the Leo Aragoose hold, this kick is up and in. On the opening drive for the Raiders today, they get a 25-yard field goal. But this was all set up on a scrambling run by the quarterback, Gannon. It's the Raiders by 3. Gannon converted 3rd and 4, picking up 7 running on the ground. And 3rd and 5, he picked up 36, the longest run against the Jets this year. And because of that, Raiders on top on a 25-yard field goal. The ensuing kickoff was grabbed by Dwight Stone, the 13-year veteran. Finds a gap, breaks a tackle. There goes a flag, and he's up to the 35-yard line. Return as it stands right now at 37 yards by Dwight Stone. And this will be against the New York Jets. Special teams have been very good for the Jets, not very, but they've been better than fine this year for New York.
It's been defense and special teams, not offense.
During the return, holding by the return team, number 47, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Jets had good special teams last week in their 16-13 loss to the Colts. They'll get it for the 2nd time as Rich Gannon looks over the plays on the Raiders sideline. Quarterback Ray Lucas, a miraculous recovery, the 3rd quarterback today. A great start last week, certainly gave them the spark that Parcells was looking for in the first half against the Colts.
Well, it was 2.5 hours before the game that Bill went up to Rick Meyer, told him Ray Lucas was going to start. Ray Lucas actually had no idea either. Split playing time during the week.
1st and 10, this is a pass to Keyshawn Johnson, who tumbles ahead up to the 27-yard line, brought down by Woodson, a gain of 6 on 1st down.
Keyshawn is just going to come on a quick out right here. This is a confidence builder for Rick Meyer. You see the clear out up the field. Charles Woodson coming up to make the tackle. There's nobody in the flat. What Parcells wanted to do was get one under Rick Meyer's belt. Just make sure that he got a completion, get things started.
He's got that wristband you were talking about before. 2nd down and 4 on the 27-yard line. Ball play handoff to Curtis Martin, coming off his best game of the season, 128 yards last week against the Colts, brought down by Eric Turner.
From the sideline, the Jets will call in just a number. Rick Meyer will glance down on his wristband, and he'll look at that number. It has not only the play, but the formation. So you see, he looks at it a little longer than most quarterbacks glance at things. The reason is he's reading the formation as well as the playoff to the team.
Now 3rd down and 2 from the 29. Martin gets the call again. Richie Anderson provided a block, but the pursuit was there by the Raiders. Beekert was at the bottom of the pile. And again, another 3 and out for the New York Jets, who have to punt.
In the AFC East, the New York Jets find themselves in a position they didn't think they would be looking at. Miami, New England, Buffalo, and Indianapolis all battling in a wide-open division. The Jets, starting with the injury to Vinny Testaverde, of course, and a couple of other injuries, but they just have not been able to right the ship.
Tom Tupa is the 3rd-rated NFL punter coming into today. Darian Gordon gets this line drive punt on a knee at the 33 with great coverage applied by Chris Hayes. The former Green Bay Packer and a college linebacker at Washington State is now a reserve defensive end. A beautiful day in the Bay. Raiders on top, 3-0. Buffalo, John Gruden with the huge 2014 win, and on the ground they were sensational, 195 yards.
Best rushing effort in 31 games for the Raiders.
About as good an effort as they've had overall all season from the 34. Pass going outside, then dropped by running back Napoleon Kaufman. Kaufman had 72 yards on the ground last week. It'll be second down and 10 with that drop there.
Napoleon Kaufman swaps off with Tyrone Wheatley. Kaufman is considered the outside runner, but they've been featuring him up inside as well as being an outside runner. Got about twice as many carries last week as Tyrone Wheatley.
It seems, Sam, they give you a different look almost on every play.
Well, they give you not only a different look with a running back, but how many wide receivers are in the game, how many tight ends. Multiple faceted in terms of the appearance they give you on the snap.
Second down and 10, the shifty Kaufman, weaving his way up to the 43 with the wonderful gain of 9. Close to a first down. Well, folks, 1 week from tomorrow, there's a whole new choice in the morning. Bryant Gumbel returns to morning television with Jane Clayson on The Early Show. Premiering 1 week from tomorrow, right here on CBS, America's most watched network. Kevin Harlan and Sam White in Oakland. Raiders on a field goal. Some good rushing by Gannon. Seattle on top of Buffalo, 10-0. Miami and New England winning today in the East, so Buffalo in a must game today. Third down and 1, and the handoff goes to Zach Crockett. Tried to pile drive his way for a first down. I think the Jets held him short. And the Raiders indeed will have to punt. Again, the Jets hold.
Penetration by the defensive line of the New York Jets. Anthony Pleasant is the main one, coming right up the chute. Watch right in the middle. Watch the interior defensive line get penetration. Anthony Pleasant around the corner. He grabs the leg, but there's nowhere really to go. It's a battle of the offensive line against the defensive line in those tight situations. New York wins.
Dedrick Ward will await the punt from Leo Aragus. He made the team as a rookie free agent after a stint in the World League. On the 17-yard line, it's fair caught by Ward on a 40-yard punt by Aragus. Raiders have a 25-yard field goal, and they lead the 1-5 Jets 3-0. One of America's most enduring corporate images, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, is providing these great scenics today. The Eagle is one of 7 airships in the Goodyear Blimp fleet. And they get a great ride today. Cloudless skies, 65 degrees from the 18-yard line. It's first and 10 for the Jets. Martin brought down from behind the line of scrimmage by Lance Johnstone, the ex-linebacker from Temple University, and a guy who leads the Raiders in sacks with 4.
Lance Johnstone is so quick. Watch him come up the line right here. He is there before anybody else can get there. Just inside, swim move, and there he is. The motion by the tight end is supposed to change the strength. Not only is Johnstone there, but right behind him is Darrell Russell.
7 plays, 11 yards in the offense today total for the Jets. Handoff here. Huge hole for Curtis Martin as he accelerates up to the 40-yard line. Tackled by Turner. A 23-yard gain for the $36 million running back for the Jets.
Now watch the motion start for the blocking this way. Martin's going to end up going off the left side, however. The first year in a long time, Curtis says that he really feels good. He doesn't have any hamstring problems, any minor injuries. He feels 100%, not only mentally, but physically as well.
On the 39, first and 10, the tight end Green's in motion. Here comes Martin, the second leading rusher in the NFL, coming into today, chased down by linebacker Greg Beaker. A gain of 1.
Greg Beaker blows sideline to sideline, had 2 blockers all over him, fought through him, and still made the tackle.
He's led him in tackles 3 of the last 5 years.
And he was hurt a couple of years ago with some knee injuries, hard to get back into the lineup. In that training room, getting himself ready. You got to have a lot of leg strength to do what he just did.
Former 7th-round pick, too. They really reached down to get him.
You find guys like that, boy, and what you do is usually because they got a great work ethic. That's how they stay around.
And he does. Second down and 9. Blitz is on. He gets away from Williams. He's chased by the aforementioned Beaker. and he dumps it off to Keyshawn Johnson with a great block from Richie Anderson, and Johnson walking the tightrope and diving to the 32-yard line of the Raiders. A pickup of 28, a Pro Bowler a season ago, and the 4th leading receiver coming into today.
Rick Meyer is flushed out of the pocket, chased by linebackers. Now watch Keyshawn Johnson. He is now in the scramble mode. That's find the hole. That's Richard Harvey, the linebacker, that tipped the ball. Keyshawn keeps his eye on it. But Keyshawn was not running that particular route. He was just moving with the quarterback. If the quarterback moves to the right, the receivers move to the right.
With 5 catches last week against the Colts, gives him a first down at the 32-yard line of the Raiders. The pitch out to Martin, a block by Elliott, and near the 26-yard line, with a tackle made by Eric Allen, goes Curtis Martin. Gain of 7. Next Saturday, it's a twin bill of conference excitement on CBS Sports. First
Party in football.
Second down, a long 3 from the 25. Martin again, lead block by Green. And Martin corkscrews his way to the 23, and about a yard and a half shy of a first down. Newman from the safety position was there.
The Raiders will bring a 8th man from the secondary, either Eric Turner or, in that case, Anthony Newman, number 30. Supposedly that keeps you in a mismatch. Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator, trying to keep the offensive side of the New York Jets off balance. Keeps you in a mismatch. You got one more guy to block than you have blockers. Of course, you leave yourself a little vulnerable to the passing game. Willie Shaw, though, is good today at guessing run or pass.
Jets haven't converted a third down all day. They got a 3rd and 2 from the 24 of the Raiders. There goes a flag, and they blow that play dead in mid-motion. As Meyer was going to sprint to the near side and maybe aim for Johnson, Keyshawn Johnson down around the 5.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 20 of the offense. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
Jeff Triplett is a referee. First year has been a referee in the NFL. Another penalty on the offense, something that Parcells says bothered him last week against the Colts.
Bill Parcells is angry at the backfield for moving, but I thought today, early in this ballgame, we might see a lot of that with Rick Meyer, quarterback. The players have had alternating quarterbacks 50% of the snaps last week between Lucas and Meyer. This week, Tom Tupa took 20%, but Rick Meyer under control, a lot of poise so far.
3rd and 7, back it up to the 29, empty backfield. Meyer right on the money, and the pass is caught at the 16-yard line by Keyshawn Johnson. The number 1 overall pick in '96 picks up 13, a first down.
Greg Biekert is going to try to cover Keyshawn Johnson straight down the chute. And the coverage right there, but watch Biekert from the inside to see number 54 enter the frame right there. They've got what's called a bracket technique. Covering from the outside was Eric Allen. From the inside is Greg Biekert. You thread the needle as Rick Meyer did then, and you still got a good completion.
But a little risky nonetheless.
It's a little risky, but it's a short throw. The ball's not in the air very long when you're throwing in the middle like that.
That's the end of the first quarter. Jets are moving, but the Raiders lead it 3-0. His favorite receiver today.
All 4 passes he's thrown have gone to that man right there, Keyshawn Johnson. 3 for 4 for 47 yards. With that average, you stick with it.
We begin the second quarter with a 1st and 10, 8th play of the Jet drive, and it looked like Elliott jumped early, the left tackle.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 76 in the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
8 years a Giant, 4 years a Jet. Jumbo Elliott moving right there.
Part of that is having a quarterback that they're a little bit unfamiliar with. The crowd here, this is not a sellout today, so this crowd is not going to be as big a factor as it would be in a lot of stadiums. I don't think it was a factor right there. That's just Jumbo Elliott trying to anticipate the snap from an unfamiliar cadence, an unfamiliar rhythm of the cadence.
But the stadium nonetheless is crackling today. 1st and 15 with the penalty, back to the 21. A nice throw over Johnstone. It's caught by the elusive Curtis Martin, who is down to the 16-yard line. And Martin picks up 5. So it'll be 2nd down and about 10 to go. You see the Jets' red zone offense this year.
They're moving the ball right now because of their quarterback. I can't tell you what a good play that was. And when you get down in the red zone, as they are right now, of course, every play is magnified. But Lance Johnstone was right in the face of Rick Meyer. He negotiated the throw and didn't break the stride of Curtis Martin, the running back.
Second down and 10 near the 15. Draw play handoff to Martin. Breaks one tackle and dives to the 12. Eric Turner finally brings him down in the backfield.
Coming off the left side right now, this is pure blocking. There is an open run. You're giving that running back the first 3 yards. You see how long it was before we see a black jersey show up, Eric Turner being the one that polishes it off. But in the running game, you ask your offensive lineman to give that running back the first 2 or 3 yards, and then it's his job to make the next guy miss for the bigger gain.
Empty backfield for Meyer. Third down and 8 from the 14 of the Raiders. Good time. Got a block from Fabini. Throws. Deflected off of 2 players. One Johnson, the other Harvey, and then bobbled by Corbett. Incomplete.
Going to Keyshawn Johnson again. 4-man rush. He's still got the push, though, with a 4-man rush. There was no blitz there. But look right there. Greg Biekert into the back of Keyshawn Johnson, who's looking for the call. Remember, inside 5 yards, you can chuck a receiver, but it has to be in the framework of the body. You can't chuck him from behind like that, and it certainly can't do it beyond 5 yards. It doesn't matter how long it takes him to go 5 yards. You can still, of course, try to reroute that receiver.
32-yard try by John Hall. The hold will be put down by Tupa. And off grass, where he is not that successful, he splits him there and ties the game from 32 yards away. Good-looking drive by Rick Myers. Some good running by Curtis Martin. And the Jets have tied the game early in the second quarter. Field goal tie. We're tied at 3 right now with Sam White, Kevin Harlan from Oakland, and we talked to the embattled Bill Parcells yesterday.
Last week, Lucas and Rick Myers split 50-50 the practice time. You've got neither quarterback ready to go when that happens, and then to get down on the goal line like that and throw a quick out that cost him the ball game. It wasn't anything but a poor call in my view, and Bill Parcells makes a lot of good calls, but that one, absolutely the wrong thing at the wrong time. Now he's got to recover with Rick Meyer because of the injury to Lucas at the end of the game. We have a touchback. They'll come out to the 20-yard line. But Bill was very upfront about it. He said, you don't explain, you don't complain, you just try to find solutions. But what you've left here is I think you got quarterbacks and a team that's observing all this that are a little bit off balance until you do the one thing that solves all problems, and that's win a football game.
And we haven't even talked about the Kevin Williams situation.
Well, that one, of course, has been headlines as well, and that's an entirely different story. We'll get to it in a minute. But so far, Rick Meyer and the offensive unit of the New York Jets have come through.
On the 20-yard line, a game tied at 3 here early in the second quarter. First down and 10 for Gannon. With time, sidearm pass. It's caught by the Pro Bowler, Tim Brown, a gain of 5. Wayne Gordon makes the stop. Kevin Williams, a defensive back, sore throat, in the hospital. 3 surgeries, on a respirator right now. They are cautiously optimistic about his recovery.
Well, and I hope everything goes well for him. His mother is there from her home and is with him every minute. Actually, a couple of the New York Jets have visited him in the hospital. But the doctors asked Bill Parcells not to invite any of those visitations. The result, of course, is, we've got a flag on that play, is that Bill Parcells got a lot of criticism that he wasn't being sensitive enough to the issue. And his response, of course, was, I'm just following orders from the doctor.
And he said he's been treated more unfairly, he told us yesterday. He's been treated more unfairly about this issue than anything else in his coaching career.
Well, the agent, of course, for Kevin Williams, very much an attack.
Holding, number 76 in the offense. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Parcells has called Kevin Williams' mother, talked to her on Friday. He says the doctors and the Jets doctors in constant contact with the Williams family.
It's almost like whose side of the story, you know, is more in line with what actually happened. It's very tough, though, in season to try to follow doctor's instructions and also appear to be sensitive. The fact of the matter is, it would have been nice if somebody from the Jets had been available to Mrs. Williams to just kind of take care of some needs as she was in New York. On the other hand, Bill Parcells knows that there wasn't really anything he could do. The result, though, is that that locker room was in turmoil. People were taking sides, and that's not good on any football team.
His 3rd and 8 pass out of the backfield to Jordan.
Holding, number 72 of the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
And that brings up a second consecutive 3 and out for the Raiders and Coach John Gruden. But we did talk to some Jets officials here this morning in the press box, and like I said before, cautiously optimistic that in the next couple days they will take Williams off the respirator.
It was not just a sore throat. This was a very serious matter of infection. He was actually comatose for 5 days while in the hospital.
An abscess in his throat, which you began to notice the Denver game a couple weeks ago. The punt by Aragoose was short and wobbly and retrieved by Dedrick Ward at the 40-yard line on a meager 39-yard punt by Aragoose. We're tied at 3 in Oakland. 30-yard field goal by Houston of the Raiders. 32-yard field goal by John Hall of the Jets. 3-3 early second quarter. On the 40-yard line, best beginning field position for the Jets today after the poor Aragoose punt. Meyer right to work. Pocket crumbles. He's sacked and brought down. They had the rookie, Tony Bryant, make it the second-round pick out of Florida State, his 3rd sack in his rookie campaign.
Coming off this side, now watch him. He's just going to come straight up the outside. Actually, the protection is good initially. The coverage is better down the field. Now watch him step up, coming off the block, coming off of 2 blocks. Beautiful job closing in on the final and making the tackle.
Second down and 13, push back to the 37. Meyer again down the sideline, zeroing in on Ward, jousting down the sideline with Eric Allen, who was beaten on a touchdown pass last week and also made an interception to Doug Flutie. Incomplete pass, 3rd and long.
Straight drop back protection and let the ball go now. You know, a long pass doesn't have to take a long time to be launched by the quarterback. Coverage step for step, though, with Eric Allen, who's watching the receiver, Dedrick Ward. When Dedrick Ward's head opened as if the ball was about to arrive, that's when Eric Allen turned back. That's the technique that you learn in training camp.
They haven't thrown to Wayne Corbett yet. And he's a good 3rd down receiver. Here's 3rd and 13. Rolling out of the pocket, Meyer. Chased and throws, and there's the catch to Corbett. First time today. He nudges his way into Raiders territory at the 48. It's a gain of 15 on 3rd and 13.
Going against the zone defense. Here's Wayne Corbett coming up. He's just going to turn around now. Rick Myers rolling to his right. The ball's thrown a little bit high. That's vintage Wayne Corbett. See him put that ball away, tuck it with both arms. Playing under some stress, Kevin, this week. His high school coach committed suicide and jumped in front of a train as a result of some accusations that he was under, and Wayne Corbett has been rocked by that this week.
Corbett said he was like a second father to him, so it's been, yes, a very emotional week for Corbett. 1st and 10 handoff here goes to the slippery Curtis Martin, who weaves his way for about 7. Greg Beekert makes the stop. Corbett today is playing with a 3-inch titanium screw holding together his bones in his broken left foot. He broke it the last preseason game, missed 5 games, and came back last week with 5 catches against the Colts.
And it's a non-contact injury. He was running preseason on AstroTurf, made the sharp cut in the foot. That's what happened.
Second down 3 from the 41. Wonderful blocking, airing it out, going deep, and intercepted. Eric Allen at the 3. The first turnover today. The 2nd interception by Allen in as many weeks. And Meyer throws his 8th of the season. And the Raiders stop the Jets right in their tracks.
Part of the problem here is Dedrick Ward. The ball is underthrown. Eric Allen finds it before the receiver. Ward finds it. Ward overruns it. Allen intercepts it.
Timeout. More time. Eric Allen, one of the best in the business, just behind Eugene Robinson, Darrell Walker, Rod Woodson, in active interceptors in the NFL. Today playing in his 176th game with 175 starts. From the 5 after the Allen interception, 1st and 10, and the bulldozing Tyrone Wheatley, who has enjoyed a rebirth here in Oakland, and the Jets are saying that the ball was loose. And the body language of New York would tell you that maybe they got something on their mind as they go and untangle the bodies at about the 8-yard line.
Well, when the officials wait around that long, they're not sure themselves. They want to get to the bottom of the pile before they make the ruling.
Oh, a huge turnover for the Raiders. Wheatley coughs it up. A against the New York Jets. He said this game meant more to him today because of his bad time, he said, with the New York Giants.
Well, this time it's Brian Cox who's going to come up with the ball. The hole is good, the run is solid, but they stand him up. They stand him up long enough to pull the ball away from him, and then it's a chase. Brian Cox comes up with it, number 51.
Takeaway. Empty backfield. Are they going to challenge it? They've got it first and goal. New York does at the 8-yard line. And
really, the only thing they can challenge right here is forward motion. If the official comes over and tells him that it was ruled, the whistle was blown, that the motion or the whistle was not blown, there was no forward motion stopping it. This is not a reviewable thing. All John Gruden wants to know is, was there stoppage of forward motion to end the play before the fumble, of course. This is what they would be looking at if they were to review it. But I think the referee is, we'll see what he says.
Oakland has challenged the ruling on the field that it is a fumble.
What happens now? First of all, Gruden hit something on his belt pack, which signaled to the referee that he wanted to challenge the ball. We saw him come over there, Jeff Triplett. Now, upstairs, the NFL crew of 4 members are using CBS replays to...
On the field stand. It is a fumble. First and 10 for New York. Oakland is charged a timeout.
So Gruden loses the challenge, loses a timeout, and may lose his tie because the Jets have it after the fumble by Wheatley. First and goal at the Raider 9.
The system works, Kevin. That should have been as ruled on the field. Took longer than the league hoped replays would take. But the call is not left alone, obviously.
Play calling got Bill Parcells in trouble last week against the Colts. This deep in territory. Let's see here on the quarterback draw. It's Meyer with the block from the Y, and he slides into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Great call by Parcells.
Looking for two people at once. That was Kevin Mawai trying to block one man, shove off, and come up on another one. But it was a walk-in for Rick Meyer.
Ball's extra point is up. Raider running back Tyrone Wheatley coughs it up and fumbles at the 9, and Rick Meyer takes it in on a 9-yard touchdown run. A quarterback draw. His first running touchdown as a Jet. Just the second rushing touchdown given up by the Raider defense this year. And the Jets on top for the first time today.
Bill Parcells over congratulating Rick Meyer on a fine drive.
Kaufman about a yard deep in the end zone, getting a block from Branch that springs him free to about the 19-yard line, where he is brought down.
Watch the blocking of Kevin Mawai and Jason. This was done.
From the 20-yard line, first and 10 for Rich Gannon. He's got Wheatley out of the backfield, and he is chopped down nicely by Pro Bowler Aaron Glenn. A loss of a yard.
Aaron Glenn is not very big. Ray Mickens on the other side is only 5'8", Glenn at 5'9", but they hit like they're 6'1", 6'2". No fear in either of these corners for the New York Jets.
First place San Diego losing to Green Bay down at Qualcomm Stadium in Southern California. Big wins today. St. Louis. 3 touchdown passes by Jeff George. Vikings look like they might be back in track, and the Niners are spiraling downward. Here's a second 11. Ball knocked out, almost intercepted by Mo Lewis. Lewis, who made the Pro Bowl last year for the first time in his 8-year career, almost spiked him.
Mo Lewis right here. Now watch, he's going to be reading through the blocker to the quarterback. See, his eyes are past the blocker, number 72, Kennedy. He reaches up and times the throw. Mo Lewis is trying to get a contract settled for next year. He's in the last year of his contract. Things are not going well. Rumor mill has it throughout the league that this is one of those with cap problems already an issue with the New York Jets, and a bigger problem next year for them. It's tough to get these guys signed.
3rd and 11. Flush in the pocket goes Myers. Sidearm pass. Caught for a first down across the way by Olympic gold medalist James Jett. It's a pickup of 16 on 3rd and long. Let's send it off to Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, Kevin.
1 to 3 of 4 coming into today, 3 and 2, and with San Diego losing it at home against Green Bay, there might be some movement in the AFC West.
And watching John Kitna get better and better as the season goes on.
1st and 10 pass, incomplete. That whistles over the head of Chet. That was the Raiders' first down since 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Well, don't miss any games in the NFL, and it's 2nd down and 10.
2 tight ends. They took John Ritchie to pull back out.
Good time, and he's drilled as he throws deep, and a flag is thrown on Mickens, who is trying to stay right with the speedster Jet. Mickens was beaten last week for a touchdown. In fact, he was yanked for Marcus Coleman in the Indianapolis game. He's taking the place of the injured Otis Smith at that right cornerback position.
Going up against pure speed and Jet. Ray Mickens doesn't have the height we just talked about. He's got to be step for step.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Automatic first down.
And replacing Otis Smith is not easy.
Coming down the right side now. Protection looks good until it breaks down at the last second. Actually doesn't break down. There's just good protection. And the question here is, could that ball have been caught? Was it catchable? The officials rule it was.
So in essence, a 24-yard penalty. We'll give it off to Kaufman, who's led the Raiders in rushing the last 3 years. Rick Lyle brings them down after a gain of 4.
James Perrier in on the tackle. As I mentioned earlier, the New York Jets will bring in a lot of linebackers. They'll switch back and forth. Same with the defensive line. Watch coming from the inside right now. It's Brian Cox. He's going to seal off, forcing him to the outside. And then here comes the help. You see Perrier coming. Rick Lyle, of course, making the first contact. Every gap covered by the linebackers in the defensive line for the Jets.
On the 37, 2nd down and 6 for Gannon. Good block by Kennedy through the hands of Wheatley and almost picked off on the ricochet by linebacker Mo Lewis and Marvin Jones. Incomplete pass.
Rick Lyle, though, is the one causing all the problems. There was no chance for Rich Kenner. But Tim Brown, boy, is complaining. I am wide open. Here he is right here. Let's see if he is that wide open. He looks pretty wide open to me.
They've only thrown one time to Brown today.
I'll tell you, though, when you're open like that, put your hands down, get back in the huddle. Don't let the defense see that you're upset or that you're open so they can come back to the same play later.
Gannon's numbers today, 3rd down and 6 from the 37 of the Jets. Good block by Wisniewski. Sidearm pass. There goes Tim Brown, the 7-time Pro Bowler. Stretching it at the 28. Picks up 9 yards on the play. And today, with his 2 catches, he has caught a pass in 98 consecutive games for the Raiders.
Brown's going to go in motion. You see number 24, Ray Mickens. This is that bracket coverage that we saw earlier. Watch, he's got help from the inside. The ball is thrown quick. See the help coming hard. Brown makes the first man miss.
Brown comes in today tied with Keyshawn Johnson, the 2 of them, the 4th leading receivers in the NFL.
Good size. Receivers that are 6 foot, it can jump, and of course have the speed of a Tim Brown. They do get over.
1st and 10. Here comes Kaufman, ran into Wisniewski, and down at about the 25-yard line. After a gain of 3 goes Napoleon Kaufman, a guy that at one time John Gruden thought about trading.
Well, I tell you, I'm not sure there aren't many players in the league that coaches don't think about trading from time to time, or they get offers. Ricky Dudley, though, for these Raiders, supposedly has been available, but you have to get the right price. Green Bay Packers offered a 3rd for it. Wasn't good enough. They wanted at least a 2nd or better. That was this year.
Evans had a pretty good season, too. 2nd down and 7. 9th play of the Raider drive for the Jet 25. Good block again by Ritchie. The scrambling Gannon, chased by Rick Lyle, throws a pass. Nice break up by linebacker Mo Lewis, who is covering the running back Wheatley at about the 23-yard line. Monday on CBS, an all-new night of the best.
Now become my number 1-2 favorites. I know you were interested in knowing what number 1-2 were.
No, old Tampa Bay highlights with you coaching have been my
Okay, they're number 3 and number 4.
3rd down and 7 from the 25 of the Jets. Going deep. Great catch made inside the 10 by the tight end, Ricky Dudley. He dropped a touchdown pass last week in Buffalo. He grabs that down, picking up 17.
This is Roman Pfeiffer covering down the right side right here. You see the jump. Pfeiffer doesn't see the ball coming. You can tell the ball is about to arrive, tries to strip. Good receivers catch the ball and pull it tight to their body quickly because they know they're going to get hit early.
Looked like he was going up for a rebound in basketball, and why not? He was a letter winner. He played college basketball for Ohio State for 3 years.
Better up high. Last week when he dropped the ball, it was a low thrown pass.
First and goal from the 8s. Raiders on the move, trailing 13-3. Gannon. And he throws incomplete and away. 10-3, the Jets are on top. I think that's a 13-3 incomplete pass by Gannon. Second down and goal.
That time just a play-action pass with a lot of crossing patterns. One of the problems with the passing game when you get down close, there's no deep threat. You can't run a 50-yard pattern because the inline stops you after 10 yards. John Gruden, you saw calling the plays. He calls all the plays. That was his sideline sheet.
Covers his mouth.
Covers his mouth so nobody can read his lips from upstairs. And believe me, the binoculars are out.
Second down goal from the 8. Wheatley following the block for Ritchie. Hurdles one defender. Climbs inside the 5. And lands at about the 3 on a gain of 4. John Ritchie, the fullback, number 40, leading the way.
Rick Lyle is the savior right here. Watch. As he comes up, it looks like he's there. Watch Lyle. Just reaches out and gets one arm on him. Just enough. Otherwise, that's a walk-in. Good blocking up front. Everybody's got a hat on everybody else. And then finally at the very last minute.
Raiders with the 13th play of this drive coming up. 3 of 3 on this drive on third down. Third and goal right now. Empty backfield for Gannon. The pump fake. Lyle is there, but being held off by Kennedy. Gannon gambles, fumbles the ball. It's loose at the 2. It appears as though the Jets have it. They do indeed, and the Raiders cough it up for a second time, but oh, how costly. Inside the Jet 5 as they were moving in.
The coaches will tell you, turnovers will beat you every time. You can play beautifully. If you keep handing the ball to the opponent, they're going to beat you. This one is a product of too much time to look down the field, trying to decide what to do, and then finally deciding to run and not putting the ball away completely. Quarterbacks that late, they get hit from odd angles because everybody's out of position.
Raiders who trail the Jets 10-3 from the 4. Rick Meyer, first down and 10. They pitch, quick throw. Keyshawn Johnson can't lasso the pass on a dive at the 14. Complete, second down and 10.
Keyshawn Johnson just breaks hard to the inside. He's just going to go quickly, but the quarterback is making really a 360-degree pivot all the way around. He faked the pitch to the right, comes back around to make the throw, and it just is underthrown. And you can see Keyshawn is saying, get the ball up. Good coaching point, Keyshawn. I think we figured that one out, though.
Well, Meyer's accuracy has traditionally been his problem.
That's why he is a backup quarterback starting here today.
Second down and 10 from the 4. Meyer going deep for Quebec, chased by Woodson, bobbling catch, he reels it in. What a grab at the 38-yard line with blanket coverage from Woodson. A hobbling Meyer throws it for 34 yards and a completion.
Charles Woodson is running that's their best cover corner. The ball is thrown in a good place. It gives Wayne Corbett a chance to box out the defender to get position, as you see him doing right at the end of that. Now look at the concentration. Knowing he's going to get hit by Anthony Newman at the very
first and 10. And a drive by Curtis Martin for 3. Second down and 7 upcoming.
You know, when a quarterback is not the guy, that's why you see coaches try to decide as early as they can in training camp that this is going to be my starting quarterback if there's competition, because they want the team to start to understand that he is the starter and the other guy assumes the role of the backup.
He was beaten out in Green Bay. It was Brett Favre's backup last year, but he was beaten out by little-known Boston College backup Matt Hasselbeck. And when that happened, Ron Wolf of Green Bay traded him to the Jets.
I think the league knows how valuable a backup quarterback is, though, especially this year.
Second down and 7, and the rookie Tony Bryant devours Meyer. The second sack by the Raiders, the second sack authored by Bryant.
I'm telling you, he is coming from Everett. This guy is playing one terrific football game. Look at him come off the ball inside, just breezes by everybody. I'm not sure that is. It's a good play by Tony Bryant. Not a very good job of blocking the inside gap by the offensive line of the New York Jets. But good balance. Once he got there, he broke down and made sure of the tackle.
Bryant really hasn't seen that much time until today.
Lance Johnstone is pretty quick, and he doesn't wear down.
3rd and 15 is upcoming. And the Jets burn the first of their 3 timeouts. Rick Meyer will go over and talk with Bill Parcells with a 10-3 lead there.
But it looks like it was fun.
We know. 3rd and 15 on the Jet 33.
3-man rush.
Good time for Meyer. The pass is caught and then swung down as Richie Anderson, who caught a touchdown pass last week against the Colts, picks up 9 when he needed a ton on 3rd and 15, and so the Jets have got a punt.
In fact, Richie Anderson caught the only touchdown pass ever thrown by Rick Lucas a week ago.
So the Jets can't cash in on the Gannon fumble. 65 degrees. Gannon fumbled at the 4 of the Jets. Jets defense held, but they couldn't do anything with it offensively, and Tom Tupa with the punt. And that goes into the end zone and out of the end zone. 58-yard punt by Tupa, the highest paid punter in the National Football League.
10 years ago this week, the Bay Area, though, wasn't quite as beautiful as it is today. It was earthquake. You remember, it was World Series time. We saw most of these scenes while tuning in to see what was going on in the World Series. A lot of freeways had collapsed, and people were trapped for a long time trying to get to and from work and to and from the game.
10 years ago this week that happened. This stadium was affected, and Candlestick Park, it was called Candlestick Park then, cracks in that. They had to delay some sporting events, including 49er games. Over 60 people died in that quake. First down and 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line. Raiders have turned it over the last 2 times they've had the ball. Going deep, he's got Brown, but the pass well overthrown. Aaron Glenn was there, and Omar Stoutmeyer was drifting over from his safety position. 2nd down and 10.
Ball was thrown well. 1:45 left. They're in a 2-minute mode, and the ball is just going to be lofted down the right side. Good solid protection, pocket protection as it's called, just a little bit overthrown. The last 2 times they've turned the ball over, the 2 times before that, Kevin, they were 3 and out. So the Raiders have not gotten much done on offense. And as you can see, they were trying to hit the home run there on 1st down.
2nd down and 10 from the 20. Sidearm pass, wheeled in by Brown. He's up to the 30-yard line, then brought down by linebacker Roman Pfeiffer. It's a gain of 10. And he's got the 1st down. 2-minute offense. NASDAQ halftime coming up with Jim and the crew from New York.
No huddle, pre-design. They work on this usually on Friday afternoons at the end of the week.
Again and again, that time that ball is out of the hands and grab of James Jett, crossing in on Marcus Coleman at about the 36.
You know, when you say a 2-minute offense, John Gruden will take the team out usually on Friday, and they will either have a numbering system, or they'll have a color system, or they'll have some quick word that tells everybody not only the play, but it'll tell them the formation, and many times it'll tell them the snap count. They will go on a regular snap count, usually the 2nd sound, so they can get the ball snapped. But everything has to happen in front of the defense. You don't have the privacy of the huddle in the 2-minute offense.
2nd down 10 from the 30. And again, just slides a pass across the middle. 1st down reception made by Tim Brown. Goes to the 47 of the Jets. Tackled by Mickens, a pickup of 23. And boy, he so easily and swiftly knifed his way through the defense.
Here he comes. He's coming all the way across the field. You don't have to work the sideline entirely in a 2-minute situation. Now, quickly trying to throw the ball to the outside while we looked at that replay. You'll either ground the ball when you make a big gain like that, or try to make a quick call and go up the field quickly, as happened there. Sometimes you catch the defense asleep. They'll be looking for the grounding of the ball and soft coverage. Remember, the Raiders wasted or lost a timeout earlier when they appealed the instant replay.
After a 2-yard pass to Brown, 2nd down and 8. Oakland with 1 timeout, the Jets with 2. On the 45 of New York. Here comes Koch. He's blocked out by Kennedy, affording the quarterback Gannon great time in the throw, and again he overshoots in a receiver. This time he was looking for Rodney Williams. who has not caught a pass this year. Williams 2 years out of Arizona. Seattle on top. San Diego is trailing Green Bay at home. Levens with the touchdown run. Levens has had a great season. Colts with the win. 3 wins all of last year. Now they're 4-2. The Patriots and the Dolphins winning today. Both teams with 5 wins. Patriots at 5-2. Miami at 5-1.
Third down. This is an opportunity to run the ball right here to try to make it. If you don't, keep the clock going. They're going to the air.
From the 48. And the pass incomplete, zeroing in on Jet, and the Raiders have got to punt the ball. Marcus Coleman is covering for New York secondary.
The reason that play wasn't complete was Brian Cox. He blitzed from the backside. Rich Gannon didn't have any time to set his feet to throw that pass. They're going to give New York a chance at least to field a punt and get a few plays off here with 2 timeouts remaining.
Leo Aragoose will punt the ball for the Raiders. He was coming in today about 39 yards per punt. Dedrick Ward is deep back.
All-out rush on Aragoose.
And he gets this one away, which is high and hanging. And fair caught, 8-yard line by Ward with Marquise Walker right in front of him. 36-yard punt.
And the Raiders have always been leaders in every area here. You see the different areas where they have hired the first African-American quarterback drafted, of course. Tom Flores was the first Hispanic head coach. Art Shell, first African-American head coach in the history of the National Football League. And Amy Trask, who is the highest-ranked female executive currently in the National Football League. Commitment to excellence. Had that slogan or that motto, that signal right there of what they plan to do every time they hit the field. It looks like the New York Jets are going to kill the clock, but the Raiders are going to have to use a timeout to get their guys off the field.
Oakland. Their third and final charge.
Lance Johnstone is out on the field and not off in time. So the Raiders burn their final timeout. Jets are just going to go to a knee and run out the clock for the final half minute of this first half. Raiders turn the ball over twice. Some pretty good running by Gannon earlier on, but he was extremely ineffective the last part of the first half. Rick Meyer runs in a touchdown on a quarterback draw, called his own number. Bill Parcells called it for him from the sideline. And that gives us the Jets on top of Oakland 10-3 at halftime.
And remember, Bill Parcells says, I grade my quarterbacks on how many times they get us in the end zone. And Rick Meyer did the job in that first half. Rich Gannon in his scrambling around, that's when the fumble happened. Going in, and of course it was Tyrone Wheatley, Oakland Raiders. But it's not. Turnovers are part of the game. And the New York Jets ready themselves to kick off to the Oakland Raiders, who will try to climb back into this ball game in what has been really kind of a defensive battle, which is not as, I don't want to say it's a dry game, but it hasn't been one of those that's full of a lot of big plays so far. It's been up front, one-on-one battles between the linemen and the linebackers, the front seven.
I think that'll change in the second half. It's hard to say. John Hall gets it up from the 30-yard line with a line drive kick. Hoffman was deep back, and that goes out of bounds, and that means the Raiders will begin things at the 40-yard line with the out-of-bounds kick by Hall.
By the kicking team, the ball will be played 30 yards from the kick. First and 10, Oakland.
Hall had 29 touchbacks in 97. That is a modern-day NFL record as you take a look at Rich Gannon, who was drafted initially by the New England Patriots as a defensive back, traded 2 weeks in camp to Minnesota, then to Washington, then to Kansas City, and now makes $4 million a year as the quarterback of the Raiders as a free agent.
And as we just saw, he's led these Oakland Raiders to 4 second-half opening drive touchdowns. A lot of that is second-half adjustments, and of course a lot of it is just coming out fired up in the second half.
On the 40-yard line, fake handoff, great time by Gannon, seductive fake, and he throws outside where it's off the fingertips of running back Tyrone Wheatley. Not the first time that Wheatley has lost a pass from Gannon today.
Rich Gannon has been around the league. Minnesota Vikings, Washington Redskins. Started for both of those teams at one point or another, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs. And of course now with the Oakland Raiders. And He's the right complement for this team. He gives them mobility. He gives them experience.
Wheatley is out. Kaufman is in. Gannon only 3 of 9 throwing on first down today. Facing second down and 10 now from the 40-yard line.
He's audibling at the line.
Lead blocked by Ritchie. Handoff goes to Kaufman. Has a block on Green, and then slithering his way near the 50-yard line. Kaufman for a gain of 8. And there was a wonderful crushing block by lead fullback John Ritchie.
Along with Barry Sims and Steve Wisniewski on the left side here. But watch the block by the fullback as he comes up. Straight handoff, number 40, right there. Well, let's call that. Okay, it wasn't a bruising block. It was a nice hold. He got away with it, okay?
Well, there was a little bit of a hold on there.
Yeah, no, it was a real good hold, actually.
Well, he played at Stanford. He's smart enough to try to decoy, right?
He occupied his man. We know that.
Second down and 2 from the 48. Make it third down and 2, and outside it goes. Incomplete. Looking for Zach Crockett. And the Raiders have got to punt the ball.
I blame that on adrenaline. You come out the second half, and 2 of the throws, the first 2 throws that Rich Gannon made, were a little bit high. That one a little high and behind his receiver. But sometimes you come out, you're all ready to go. You're fired up. You've had a good talk from the coach. You beat on the locker. You run out on the field and throw too high and wide.
The third 3 and out for the Oakland Raiders. And former math teacher here in the Bay Area, Leo Aragoose, will punt the ball from about the 35. Dedrick Ward is positioned back at the 10-yard line for the Jets. Little breeze here inside the stadium today. This one floats to Ward with the fair catch back at the 11-yard line. 40-yard punt by Aragoose. It's a beautiful day here in the Bay Area. The Jets are flying high on top of the Raiders, 10-3. A bust in New York for his 4 years there, flourishing with the Raiders, but today 7 carries, 16 yards, and 2 drop passes. He has not been as effective as he has been for this Raider offense.
First year, he's actually had to make the team. He told his wife, Kim, who's was pregnant with their 3rd child, don't call me in the morning. That's when the team calls to cut the players.
First and 10 from the 12, and the weaving Curtis Martin up to the 30-yard line on the play. A gain of 18. Tony Bryant makes the tackle.
Rick Meyer calls Curtis Martin the silent warrior. He's going to come off the right side. Initial blocking giving him the first 3 yards. You've heard me talk about him. You see the hole. There's your first 3. Okay, you're on your own now. Break it up to the middle. The Jets have started on their own 4, their own 9, and their own 12-yard line the last 3 drives. Now they're getting themselves with a run like that out of that backed up position.
So after that robust run of 18 yards from the 30, 1st and 10, loose ball, and on the exchange from center Kevin Mawai to Rick Meyer, it looks like the Jets have fallen on it. Meyer, the guy to do it, and a wasted down.
It's just ball handling as far as I can see. The ball just doesn't come up. Sometimes a quarterback will not ride a center if the center has to do what's called a reach block. He's got to not block the man directly over him, but he's got to go left or right. The quarterback has to recognize that and ride that center while he snaps the ball. You pull away, you end up with a mishandle like that.
Seattle pounding Buffalo. Green Bay doing the same to San Diego. New England won today, and so did Miami. Second down, 11. From the 29, delayed handoff, end around, and it goes to Dwight Stone, the 13-year veteran, with lead blocks on the way from Thomas and Johnson, and he goes to the 35-yard line of the Raiders. A pickup of 37. Eric Turner with the tackle.
See, the motion started one way and then coming back around. Now watch Kevin Mawai, though, also out down the field, along with number 77, Randy Thomas. All of them way down the field for 300-pound men running. Well-designed play because the motion usually takes somebody to the other side of the field, and then when you reverse your field in the backfield, you can get open free.
Stone, a former running back with Pittsburgh, last 4 years with Carolina. Jets' longest run this year. And they send Martin over the right side for a gain of 1. Marching ahead near the 34-yard line, second down and 9. Bill Parcells does indeed call the plays, although he has made a move with his offense. He has put offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss in charge of the wide receivers in recent weeks. Parcells, not Weiss, calling the plays. And that replaces Todd Haley, who was in his first year at the position. And now he becomes an assistant wide receivers coach for Parcells.
Frank Ramos with the New York Jets reminded us yesterday that Bill Parcells called 14 out of 16 games last year. So he isn't calling the plays for the first time in 99.
Second down 9. Here's a little swing pass caught by Martin with little blocking ahead and close to a first down. Very close. Turner shoves him out of bounds.
You know, injuries to quarterbacks around the league have just devastated different teams. He too is injured now for a couple of weeks.
Although available today, if needed, to pitch out on 1st and 10. Look at the rocket move by Martin inside the 5 and to the 4-yard line. Woodson with the tackle. A gain of 20 yards as Martin lustily runs over the right side. 1st and goal, Jets.
Quick toss to the outside. Coming from the inside is the blocker. Now watch right here. You see the blockers coming around the outside. Just a quick peel that time. That was Jason Fabini. And then pure speed by Curtis Martin. Martin has that burst. There are some running backs that can go wide. And once they see the hole is there, they can change direction going north and south and burst at the same time. Martin's one of them. There aren't a lot of them in this league that can do it.
Good block again by tight end Eric Green. This drive started at the Jets 12. 1st and goal to go, and the handoff goes to Martin, who submarines to the 2, where he is brought down by Osborne and linebacker Richard Harvey. 2nd down and goal for the Jets.
Similar kind of play that time, only Bill Parcells has his center, Kevin Mawai, pulling on this one. And when it's all cut off to the outside, Curtis Martin comes back up inside and picks up a couple. You know, when you toss the ball, you think outside run right away, and sometimes you get that quick flow and you can turn back up inside.
2nd down and goal to 2. 8th play of the drive. In the previous 7, we've seen 6 runs and 1 pass. Fire the fake. Got a block. Goes to the end zone. Touchdown. Tight end Eric Green. His first as a Jet. Extra point by Hall is in, so a drive which began back at the Jet 12 and consisted of 6 running plays and 2 passing plays ends up with a 2-yard touchdown pass to the tight end Green. 17 unanswered points by the Jets, who lead it 17-3. Kaufman inside the 5. He can slice and dash his way. John Hall can't get him. Hayes knocks him off balance, and Chris Hayes knocks Kaufman off his horse at the 39-yard line. A return of 36 by Napoleon Kaufman. So good beginning field position again for the Raiders, who trail the Jets 17-3. Finding the strength of their defense all season. Getting offense today, 2 touchdowns, 17-3. They lead the Raiders from the 39. 1st and 10. That ball tipped and caught on the ricochet by Terry Mickens, the ex-Green Bay Packer receiver, and he picks up 3. 2nd down and 7. Next Sunday on CBS. Fake handoff. Here comes the blitz. Mickens cannot get the elusive cannon. He throws a pass on the run. Hits the Pro Bowl receiver, Tim Brown. A gain of 16 yards. Mickens was all over Gannon, who slipped away and got the pass for a 1st down.
Gannon buys enough time right here. Now watch the motion. He's going to go all the way across the field, but it takes a long time to go up, make a left turn at the red light, and straight across. Rich Gannon buying the time. See, Aaron Glenn's going to let him go now. Out of frame. His zone coverage picked up by Victor Green, but the throw as well is thrown well because he had to sidestep that blitzing rusher.
6 catches today for Brown from the Jet 42. 1st and 10. Fake handoff to Wheatley. Good block by Dinopoli and Barrett Robbins. Great time. There's a block by Wisniewski. Here comes the quarterback Gannon. He's got to get to the 32. Finally grabbed by Marvin Jones at about the 35-yard line. Gannon can run. He had a 36-yard gain in the first half. That was a gain of 8 right there. He's carried it 3 times for 51 yards today.
When he's had to scramble, though, his players have done a good job of getting open for him. This is not an example of it. Watch Tim Brown. The quarterback is now scrambling. You should be working to get open. He's still running with the ball. He's still running with the ball. You should be breaking back the other way. Tim Brown let him down on that play.
2nd down and 2 from the Jet 34. Jet 17 unanswered points. They give it to Wheatley, who tries to gash the middle. The loose ball and a fumble picked up by Victor Green. The 3rd Raider turnover Again, it's in Jets territory. And Victor Green, who leads the team in tackling.
Watching it, you know, coaches, this is part of the coaching. Waving a player, going and telling a player, we're going to fire you, we're going to cut you, is the toughest part of coaching. I think right on the heels of it is watching a player giving it his all and being injured. Because every time you step out there, you're a gladiator. There's a chance you won't walk off the field.
So after the Wheatley fumble from the 41, the Jets have it. They've scored 17 unanswered points. Chased by Grady Jackson. The nimble Meyer gets away and throws down the sideline. Almost picked off by Allen. They were aiming for Corbett. It's incomplete. And second down and 10. No yellow on the field.
Meyer is out of the pocket. Now he's going to set up and then roll to his right. See the pressure coming quick. He escapes that. Now he sets to throw. Even in the face of the rush, he was able to set and throw it. A risky pass, though. That was Rick Meyer forcing one in down the field, trying to make something happen. Right now, with the lead, what he wants to do is make sure that he just keeps him out of quick trouble.
Second down and 10 from the Jet 41. Here comes Martin, a pulling block by Mawai, and the surge of Martin takes him to the 46-yard line. Gain of 5, which will bring up third down and about 5. 2 weeks from tonight, go back to a time when the league. I wasn't born.
You weren't born.
Okay, never mind.
And I know you haven't been reading books about it, so.
Third down and 5 from the 46. Good block by Fabini, providing Meyer time. The pass caught by tight end Eric Green. 2 catches coming into today. He's already caught 2 today. A touchdown pass and what appears to be a first down reception right there. Indeed it is for the Jets.
Now watch ball players all the time that are having a tough year, a slow start, and you get a couple of those catches. Bill Parcells now feeling like he can go to that tight end a little bit more after the touchdown catch a moment ago.
A couple years and a couple Pro Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Went to Miami for a season, was injured, and a non-factor for Jimmy Johnson the last 3 years with Baltimore. First and 10 for the Raider 49. Long play handoff, and this one goes to Martin, who twists and turns his way to the 45. A gain of 4. Second down and 6. 95 yards for Curtis Martin. 128 last week for Bill Parcells, and he is on the same pace for what he got last year, which was almost 1,300 yards. He's on the same pace again this year.
Well, he feels 100%. We mentioned it earlier as we look at some of the scores around the league. Miami beating Philadelphia, who had been on a roll themselves. But Martin feels healthy. He feels 100%. There's no substitute for that.
Second down and 6 from the 45. Great handoff, and look at the run. Tremendous detonation by Curtis Martin to the 25-yard line. A gain of 20. Tremendous burst down the middle by the former Pro Bowler.
It's going right through this hole right here. And when I say give him the first 2 yards, they give him the first 15. Look at the hole open up. You see the seal. Terrific blocking by Randy Thomas, who's been doing that the last few plays. And he is accelerating down the field, shoulders low, falling forward. All the great backs do it.
M2 today is the #1, making #2 running back in yards in the NFL,
especially on first down.
And he's got a 100-yard game again today. There's the fake to Martin. He goes the other way, Meyer does, looking for running back Richie Anderson. That's incomplete. Too high, almost an uncatchable pass. Have it on the play by Turner.
Here's Rick Meyer as he lets the ball go. It's always fun to watch as they try to anticipate what's going to happen and whether the play is going to work. And then they come to the realization, has no chance. I overthrew everybody. He's had a good game, though. This kid's he's under a tough situation. He's come in here and played well.
He's thrown for a touchdown. He ran a touchdown in from 9 yards. He's 10 of 17 today throwing. Second down and 6. Draw play handoff again, going to Martin. He backs his way near the 22-yard line. Marching ahead.
He is such an explosive runner, and in the same breath, he can change directions left and right. Greg Biekert had him dead to right for a loss. He gave him that old left leg, limp leg, and then took it away and picked up a couple of yards. And he's going to get a little rest now as Curtis Martin goes to the sideline.
And Bernie Parmley checks in. All-purpose back Parmley, the ex-Miami Dolphin, 3rd down and 8 from the 23. Myers sprints from the pocket, has to get to the 15-yard line and dances into the defense of Lance Johnstone and then out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. 4 yards shy the way it stands right now, and Parcells will go for 3.
Well, they were looking for man-to-man coverage. They've been getting it in the red zone. You remember when they had the quarterback draw, Rick Myers scored because of man-to-man coverage. That time they wanted to get it to Keyshawn Johnson. Came in motion, made a little out move, and then up the field, but they caught the Oakland Raiders in zone. There was nothing left to do but get what you can and line up for the field goal.
37-yard try by John Hall. Ordinary off grass. He's made 1 field goal today from 32 yards, and this one is up. This one is good. He's 2 of 2 off grass. In every game that he had.
Beautiful day expected from their team.
Randy Jordan, who was originally taken by the Raiders, went to Jacksonville in the expansion draft, now spins his way for the Raiders up to the 28-yard line. We'll see Rich Gannon again, minus Tyrone Wheatley, who was taken to the locker room. No word on his health right now. Monday
right there. This is actual footage of the opening of the first game of the series.
Well, if it is, he was in Shea Stadium, so it was about 500 miles.
Oh, you caught me in a little bit of a bib there, did you?
Should have been down in Atlanta. He's got the wrong team. Stick to football. From the 28, 1st down and 10 yards to go. Quick dart thrown by Gannon and caught by the bulldozing fullback John Ritchie, picking up 5. Marvin Jones then inhaled him in the linebacking core for the Jets.
There's still time for the Oakland Raiders to use their run and pass. You know, the guy they're missing today is Derek Walker. Mother passed away this week. He's not playing. He's their best blocking tight end. And I think he's had an effect on the way they've been able to run the ball. Last week, 195 yards against the Buffalo Bills. And leading in time of possession, over 33 minutes.
Buffalo was the #1 run defense going into last week. 2nd down and 5. Patch can't get a hold of Gannon. The pass is incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Ricky Dudley. Victor Green was on him.
Brian Cox, his usual annoying self as a defensive player, annoying to the offense. He moves everywhere. He's not lined up in one spot snap after snap. They'll put him on the edge. They'll put him in either gap in the middle.
So Don Shula gave him his big break in Miami, then to Chicago as a free agent, then a great signing for Bill Parcells last year when Marvin Jones went down in training camp, and Cox says he still talks to Don Shula and still reveres him.
He talks to everybody on the field. He never stops talking.
We're down 5 from the 33. Good block by Kennedy. Here comes Gannon. He's got to get to the 37-yard line. Got a block from the running back Jordan and staggers ahead for a 1st down before he is brought down on the play by Dorian Booth. A gain of 9 on 3rd and 5.
Rich Gannon keeps his eyes down the field the entire time. Okay, the patterns are broken up. See him running. He doesn't lose the grip on the ball. His eyes are still searching. Then he realizes, I can make it with the run. And he dives for the 1st down.
Big try for the Raiders.
This is an important drive. They can get right back in this game. We're still in the 3rd quarter. They're only down by 3 scores.
1st down and 10. Great time for Gannon. Swings it outside to the tight end, Jeremy Brigham. 7th catch of the year. Guy who grew up in Alaska. 5th round pick last year. Brigham picks up 9 on 1st down.
Another thing I think Rich Gannon does well is he goes to an alternate receiver. Brigham was one of those alternate receivers.
Going out, Eric Abagu. Spot defensive player, New York native, grew up in Tarrytown and high school in White Plains, New York. They take him off the field.
Anthony Pleasant, who plays in front of him, is also playing with an ouchie ankle.
2nd down, long 1. Sprinting down the middle for a gain of 4 and a 1st down to the 45 is Napoleon Kaufman.
Now it's important for the Raiders to pick up the tempo. They've got to get, even though it's still in the 3rd quarter, they've got a lot of work ahead.
They're not turning it over.
That's the reason they're in the shape they're in right now, is they turned the ball over. They've actually moved the ball. They've done enough good things to be even with, if not ahead of the Jets, but you can't keep turning it over.
Like we said, they came into today as the #1 team in the NFL in the giveaway takeaway.
Remember, turnovers are caused as well. The New York Jets have played a role in those turnovers.
Raiders have 3 today. Good time for the scrambling Gannon, who has to throw it away and out of bounds. Looking for the tight end, Brigham. There was tremendous pressure by linebacker Marvin Jones. 2nd down and 10.
Not only do the New York Jets pressure you with their 3 down line. Remember, this is a 3-4 defense again. 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. That means that any of those 4 linebackers can come. If the protection breaks down at all, Bill Belichick will bring the wrong guy from your offensive standpoint and get right in your face. Most of the time, or a lot of the time, it's Brian Cox. But Belichick can bring any of those linebackers at any time.
Second down, 10 from the 45. Going deep, Gannon. He's got a receiver. Brown. The defender falls. Flag is thrown. Touchdown, Brown. Aaron Glenn fell. The penalties on the Jets, and the Raiders are back in business.
Interference. Defense, number 31. The penalties decline. Touchdown.
Every team has a go-to guy to get back in the game. The motion and straight up the sideline is Keyshawn Johnson for the Jets. It's Tim Brown for the Oakland Raiders. Here's the dive by Aaron Glenn. That's the interference call that they, of course, pass up because he scores the touchdown. Beautifully thrown as well by Rich Gannon, keeping the ball away from the inside safety. He was trying to come over and help.
Season high 45-yard reception for Brown. Husted's extra point is up and in, and that looked like Raider football of old. The long bomb caught by Pro Bowler Tim Brown. The Raiders are back in it at the close of the, you just said, Tim Brown getting oxygen after his 45-yard touchdown reception. And the Raiders back in business, down 20-10 with 29 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
A score like that not only pumps up your offense that did the scoring, it pumps up your special teams and defense. The coverage right here is important. If they can back up the New York Jets and the defense come on and do a job, the Raiders are back in it.
Ensuing kickoff by Husted. Robert Farmer, last 2 years on the practice squad for the Jets. He's out at Notre Dame, hurdles the defender, and takes the ball up to the 30-yard line for New York. Tackle made by Randy Jordan. Thursday on CBS, the doctors of Chicago
were hoping they could knock off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today, but fell just short in a field goal fest down in Tampa.
Cade McNown started and lost. 6-3 was the final. Boy, Tampa Bay has no offense at all, do they?
They can't score points. Trent Dilfer, who I drafted, has just not been able to put him in the end zone. But they do have a defense that wins ball games.
Now the crowd is in it. First and 10 from the 30-yard line. Curtis Martin got away from Beekert, got away from Harvey. A flag is thrown, and finally safety Anthony Newman makes the tackle.
I'm going to take a guess that Greg Beekert was held on that play, and that's what the official is calling.
You're right. Good call.
Just watching the game, Kevin. I'm just trying to observe what's going on.
Watching it closely.
They're paying me big bucks to do this.
I know they are.
Holding on the offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty remains first down.
Here is a shocking number. The Jets have been penalized 6 times today. But here's the real zinger. The Raiders have not been penalized once today.
I hope you didn't just jinx the Raiders, but the Raiders have the history of making some mistakes penalty-wise. Discipline is part of winning ball games and attention to detail. John Gruden said not only has he read Bill Parcells' book, but when he used to go when he was a kid and have a chance to listen to Bobby Knight talk to his basketball team, it was details that won games.
The Raider touchdown pass to Tim Brown has given them new life. At the end of 3, the New York Jets and Rick Meyer lead the Oakland Raiders 20-10. They begin the fourth quarter. Sam White, Kevin Harlan. What's the psyche of Rick Meyer coming in, flourishing earlier on, demoted last week, and here today playing pretty well?
I think he's got more pressure on him now than he did on the opening snap of the ball game. With a 10-point lead with 1 quarter to play, it's don't lose the game mentality now.
First and 16. And the handoff goes to Richie Anderson. Anderson's having a solid season and has the longest tenure of any Jet running back. Gain of 4, second down coming up.
He's going to be important in this drive to keep the pressure off of Rick Meyer, who's 10 for 17, 126 yards. Solid day, 1 interception, but 1 touchdown. And I don't want to say don't lose the game. That's totally negative thinking. But there's room now for a mistake to be magnified. If he makes a mistake now, it really gets the Raiders back into the ball game. And it can be blamed directly on, say, an interception or a fumble by the quarterback.
Jets have scored on their last 2 possessions. Second down and 12. Handoff goes to Martin, shifting his way, swiveling his way up to the 32-yard line, picking up 4. It'll be 3rd down. Greg Biekert makes the stop.
Fourth quarter problems for the New York Jets with a 1-point lead over the Patriots, 4 points over Washington, 3 over the Indianapolis Colts. You see, they lost all those ball games. And last week, they had the chance to take the lead at the 3-yard line, chose to take a quick out throw to Keyshawn Johnson from Ray Lucas, who was intercepted and run all the way down the field by Jeff Burris of the Colts. Right now, Bill Parcells is getting the ball in the hands of Curtis Martin. Let the runners do it.
3rd and 8 from the 32. They got to get to the 40. Myers hit as he throws. Pass almost picked off. Incomplete. He was leveled by the blitzing quarterback, Darian Gordon, the former Denver Bronco. And that rush, that blitz, foiled the pass.
Keyshawn's short motion. The reason the motion is there so that he doesn't get disrupted with any bump and run. And then that little move to the outside. This is where the timing, where a quarter, watch him move to the outside. See a little nod? That's supposed to give him room. But Charles Woodson's too quick. He anticipated the throw, and the defenders for the Oakland Raiders don't read the receivers. They read through to the quarterback. They can see the throw coming.
2 for the punt to the number 5 punt returner in the NFL, Darian Gordon. There goes a flag, and Gordon works his way up to the 36-yard line. Hudson, the guy who snapped the ball to Tupa, makes the tackle, 46-yard punt, and it's a penalty, the first of the day against the Oakland Raiders.
And it'll be Charles Mincy pushing from behind on the punt return. Didn't quite get his head in front.
During the return, holding number 85 in the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Now the Raiders, scoring the last time they had it, wind it up and try to cook something up with Coach John Gruden. Welcome back to Oakland, where the Jets are on top of the Oakland Raiders 2010. Kevin Harlan alongside Sam White. Momentum changing here, do you think?
You can feel it changing. The Oakland Raiders are going to get the ball 3, maybe 4 more times in this ballgame. They need 2 scores to take the lead or to tie.
On 1st and 10, the pass thrown outside to Mickens. Reserve wide receiver, picks up 5. Gannon on the money. Upcoming 2nd down and 5.
You know, right now with 13 minutes left to go in the ball game, the key for the Oakland Raiders is to keep the tempo up. They can't be wasting time between plays, but once they have called a play and they run a play, they still have the option of run and pass. They don't have to get quickly out of bounds every time and maybe lose some of the yardage that they might gain. They are not in that 2-minute mode yet.
2nd down and 5. Great time for Gannon. Here comes the rush. It's by Pleasant, winds up and throws. Passes snared at the 41-yard line by Tim Brown, a 19-yard gain. Gannon bought himself some great time with his footwork in the backfield.
As he's done all day long. Tim Brown, remember earlier in the ball game we pointed out that he was not getting open for his quarterback. Now his quarterback's trying to watch him plant, 5 to the open spot, and there's the completion. You've got to settle in an open zone. If you can look back and see your quarterback and nobody's standing between you and the quarterback, it's the same from his view, and he has a lane to throw the ball to you.
8 catches today for Brown from the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Wheatley is injured, so Kaufman is in, and there goes Gannon to throw. Right through the hands of Napoleon Kaufman. Not the first drop we've seen today by a Raider receiver either.
Well, it's been Tyrone Wheatley up to this point more times than not. That's the 4th drop today by the Oakland Raiders. That combined with turnovers, and you find yourself down by 10 in the 4th quarter. Again, keep the tempo up if you're an Oakland Raider football player. Now the clock is stopped now with the incompleted pass, but you've got to hustle back. If you're losing 3 or 4 or 5 seconds between each play because you're not huddling quickly, it'll amount to 1 or 2 plays at the end of the game.
2nd down and 10 from the 40. Blitz is on. Gannon hit and brought down by Stoutmire. Threw the ball away, but they'll rule him down. Back at about the 31-yard line. That's the 2nd sack of Gannon this afternoon.
They bring 2 people right up the chute. You're going to see them coming right through here. Watch them enter the frame. There they come. There, both guys are coming clean through. Nobody touched him at all. Was Omar Stoutmire, who's playing in place of Steve Atwater today.
Atwater back home in New York with the hamstring injury. They picked this kid up 2 weeks ago after he was let go by Cleveland. Before that with Dallas. And he has played pretty well. Played well last week against the Colts.
A position like that, you move in faster and play quicker than you can, say, at a wide receiver in an offensive line position, for example.
Third down 18 from the 32. Gannon again, rushed with time, throws a pass. Right on the money, caught by James Jett at the 45-yard line. We know he can run deep, but Fred Bolitnikoff, the receiver coach, has been working with him on those kind of routes right there.
Speaking of Bolitnikoff, this looks like Darryl LaMonica or Jim Plunkett throwing the ball down the field to Bolitnikoff. Deep to the inside. Marcus Coleman had outside position. It was a zone defense. With a defensive coverage like that, it comes down to protection. Give him time to throw, he'll complete the pass.
So Parcells' defense gives up 23 yards on 3rd and 18. On the Jet 45, first and 10. The fake to Jordan. Jason Ferguson can't get the quarterback. And there's the pass caught by the tight end Ricky Dudley. Lumbering his way to the 26. A gain of 19. Dwayne Gordon brings him down.
At the end of this play, Dwayne Gordon tries to create a fumble. The completion is already made. Watch it there. Watch Dwayne Gordon's right arm. Watch him right there, trying to strip the ball loose. The ball was shifted to the left hand, and Dudley doesn't fumble. Big gain for the Raiders.
Tight end has become more important, it seems, over the last couple weeks for the Raiders.
Well, the tight end is a position that not only is it a blocking back kind of a position, fullback position, but it is an easy throw for the quarterback, usually a short throw.
7th play of the drive, first and 10 pass. It's caught for another first down, or so it would appear, at the 15-yard line of the Jets. This one brought in by Terry Mickens, who John Gruden used to coach up in Green Bay as an assistant under Mike Holmgren.
Here's Mickens going up the field, this time to the right side of the field. On the last play, it was to the left side of the field. They throw it across the field. Good mix of the passing game. They're not really in a 2-minute mode, but they're getting big chunks of yardage. The passing game is what's working.
Well, you're talking about tempo, and you see a lot of tempo in the offense now.
Well, when you're moving the ball like this, it creates the tempo. The adrenaline starts to flow. Gannon 5 for 6 on this drive.
On the Jet 15, first and 10. Play action again. Rushes on. There goes Gannon. Here comes Lewis, the linebacker, chasing Gannon. Incomplete. Rick Lyle was on his heels as well. He was looking for the fullback Ritchie in the end zone. Second down and 10.
There's no doubt that the New York Jets have done a better job defending the pass when they get pressure on the quarterback versus defending the pass routes. When they drop back into the defensive zone, Bill Belichick, of course, can go either way. When they drop back, the Oakland Raiders have found the open man. The protection's been good enough. But when the Jets come after the quarterback, there's not enough time to get open down the field for the Raiders.
Second down and 10.
I think you were looking at another blitz right
Jets.
then, too.
Jets burned their first timeout of the second half. Raiders have all 3. Bill Parcells, who has seen his Jet defense keeping opponents from scoring 2 touchdowns for 3 weeks in a row. Colts had 1, Jacksonville 1, Denver 1. Oakland's moving it again. Down and 10 from the Jet 15. Last 2 times in the red zone, Raiders have kicked the field goal and fumbled. What do they do here? Good block. A pass by Gannon. Caught by Brown, shy of the first down, near the 11-yard line. A gain of 9.
Watch Victor Green come straight up the middle, right in the face of Rich Gannon. Everybody's picked up, but he comes out of the safety. The ball has to be thrown right where it is. Here's Green coming straight up the chute. Beautiful pass by Rich Gannon. Good concentration again by Tim Brown, getting out of bounds as well as completing the pass, leaving him 3rd and short.
Zach Crockett has come in, 3rd down and 1. Crockett the call. He usually gets the call. And he pile drives his way for a first down to the 2. First and goal to go the Raiders, who are buzzsawing through the Jet defense.
And remember, the Oakland Raiders need a touchdown and a field goal to tie. They're going just off the right side here. But this was a first down, and now you continue for your touchdown. If you don't make it, you go ahead and kick that field goal and get yourself back in it. 8.5 minutes to go. Tempo is important. You've still got time to make those 2 scores happen.
11th play of the drive. Crockett again, piercing his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
We have a game, Kevin.
We do indeed.
Same play as the first down or third down call a moment ago. Go right over Barrett Robbins, Gennaro Di Napoli. Both hands on the ball for Zach Crockett. Barrett Robbins as good a center as there is playing in the National Football League today.
In a long line of great centers here with the Raiders.
Absolutely. Saw Jim Otto down on the field before the game.
Michael Houston on the Air Goose hold. 8:23 to play in the game. The New York Jets, who led 20-3, have seen the Raiders score 14 unanswered points. It's a three-point ball game. Kevin Harlan and Sam Weish back in Oakland. The Jets, who led 20-3, have relinquished 2 touchdowns to the Raiders. Three-point game, and the ensuing kickoff by Houston. Taken in the end zone by Dwight Stone. On a block, cuts outside. He's being chased by Mincy, and Houston, who makes the grab at the 38-yard line on a 38-yard return. Monday on CBS, imagine
there's no way Ray Romano has a halo over his head.
How about his confidence, and what kind of pressure is he under?
You know, I said when he was 10 points down with 1 quarter to go, pressure was up. It's doubled now with a 3-point lead. They have not gotten the ball to Keyshawn Johnson in the entire second half.
On the 37, there is a block by Thomas, and Johnson tried to block him away, but Woodson came through, a Heisman Trophy winner at Michigan in '97, Pro Bowler in the NFL last year as a rookie.
This is going to be a toss. Now ball handling is as important as throwing the football. Easy possession type, handing the ball to your key guy, that being, of course, Curtis Martin. And I'm sure Bill Parcells reminded Rick Myers, stay under the center. He's already fumbled 1 exchange in the center. Don't pull away early. Let me mention one more time. They've thrown the ball only once to Keyshawn Johnson in the second half. No completions.
Second down 11 from the 36. Handoff goes with nowhere to run. Coming through, linebacker Richard Harvey devours the running back Curtis Martin. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And Parcells can't find anything to inoculate himself against a rugged Raider defense all of a sudden.
Pressure up the field from the defensive line, and then Richard Harvey, who had that gap, square-shouldered. That's exactly how you teach young football players to tackle. Bend your knees, uncoil, and explode through the ball carrier.
This stadium is rocking. 3rd and 15. From the Jet 31. Great time for Meyer, out to Bernie Palmer. He's got to get to the 46. He is doused at the 39. Tackled on the play by Craig Biekert. A gain of 7 when he needed about 14. So they got to punt the ball, and the Raider defense plays well.
The Raider defense was happy to give up 5 or 6, 8 yards that time as long as they forced the punt. Just get the ball back in the hands of the offense.
Second consecutive 3-and-out for Parcells and his Jets. 2 for the punt, and Darian Gordon will be back. Has the best average returning punts in the history of the NFL. So this one will die and lie in front of him at the 21-yard line. Tupper's punt wobbles 40 yards. Gannon and the Raiders red hot right now and down by 3 with 6:02 to play. Kevin Harlan and Sam Weish in Oakland, where the Raiders have come back with 14 unanswered points. A 23 lead for the Jets has evaporated. It's 2017. Gannon tossing it across the middle, caught by the speed merchant Jet. Bouncing his way, then finally brought down, tackled by Victor Green, the leading tackler on the Jets. Gain of 14.
We mentioned earlier about the fourth quarter woes of the New York Jets. Here it is one more time. Against New England, Washington, and Indianapolis, they had 1, 4, and 3-point leads, lost all the ball games, and now they find themselves in a position of defending a 3-point lead. About the 30-yard line is field goal range for the Oakland Raiders.
35-yard line, 1st and 10. Fake end around. Handoff goes to Kaufman. He picks up 3 yards, trying to dash his way in between defenders. 2nd down and 7. Coming up for John Gruden, who says that he was hooked on coaching by his dad, who was a coach at one time, and also by listening to a pregame talk given by Indiana Hoosier coach Bobby Knight when he was 9 years old.
He's living in Newcastle, Indiana, and his brother Jay is the head coach of the Orlando Predators of the Arena Football League.
second down and 7 to go. Those of you waiting to see 60 minutes, it'll follow this game except on the West Coast. Jet is in motion. Here comes the blitz. The pass is intercepted by Aaron Glenn. It is the 4th Raider turnover today. Glenn's 2nd pick of the year.
Simple for everyone. He's actually gone to the well more times than I would have thought he would do. Throwing the ball down the field, throwing the ball to the outside, knowing that Rick Meyer has to be feeling a little bit of pressure. But I think he has looked at Rick Meyer on the sideline, looked him in the eye, and sees that this guy's ready to play, that he can perform. And you do that one-on-one as a coach.
Jets at the Raider 22. They've got to get to the 15. 3rd down and 7. This is a huge defensive play for the Oakland Raiders.
Remember, John Hall has missed 1 kick on grass every game he's ever played in the pros. If they put him in that situation here.
Quarterback draw, and all Meyer does is stutter step his way and eat the ball at the 26. Almost looked like he was trying to run it out. And it's a 2-10. And I believe the Raiders have taken a timeout, although no signal has come from the field. They take us down to the 2-minute warning. The Raiders, in fact, were trying to beat the 2-minute warning. That's where we stand. Both teams with 2 timeouts. 2-minute warning. Jets by 3.
With his field goal, but he changes his strategy. If he makes it, the Raiders have to score a touchdown. If he doesn't, a field goal ties it. He has missed, John Hall, 1 field goal on grass as every time he's tried it as an NFL player. He's 2 for 2 today.
43-yard try. The hold by Tupa. The kick is up, and the kick is good. A career first for John Hall. 3 of 3 kicking today on grass, and his longest on grass in his career. And it couldn't have come at a...
It did not decide the ball game. It just decided the strategy of the remainder of the game.
And that means a field goal was no use to the Raiders.
It's 4-down territory from the get-go. And you see both coaches, John Gruden on this side, getting his team ready for the 2-minute offense. Bill Parcells on the other side talking to Bill Belichick as to how they want to defend the 2-minute.
How do you prepare during the week as a coach for situations like this?
Every week you've got a period during practice where you drill and you say there's a minute 50 left or a minute 45 left, 1 or 2 timeouts. You move the situations around and you try to create the rehearsal of a situation exactly like this.
Hoffman getting it from Hall at about the 1. With the wedge and a block, and down he goes with a flag thrown as well at the 20-yard line. Finally tackled on the play by Corey Sawyer, number 29.
This will be holding against the Raiders. So everything went wrong on that kickoff from the Raiders' standpoint.
Who had gone unpenalized deep into the game.
Second penalty today for the Raiders. Both were on special teams. Both have been on special teams.
During the return, number 85, holding on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Wide receiver Terry Mickens. New England's prize pupil linebacker Andy Katzenmoyer is already off to a great start. See his history on NFL.com. Well, let's see what John Gruden has dreamed up here.
Just everyone knows this, but out of bounds stops the clock. If there's an instant replay issue, it will be decided in the booth. There are no more appeals from the sideline.
A point from the 10. First and 10. Down the middle it goes. Caught by running back Randy Jordan. If we're going to put together a drive, it's got to be a riveting drive. It's got to move. That picks up 9 right there. Second down and 1. Raiders with 2 timeouts. Jets with 2 as well. 4 wide receivers for Gannon from his 19. With blocking right on the money again. This one drops. 5 Raider drop passes today. This to the twisting and turning Jordan.
That would have been a big catch for Randy Jordan. Ball was thrown in behind him a little bit, but it was a quick throw. It used up some time, but it didn't use up a lot of time, and that's what they've got to do. If they're going to keep the clock running, get up to the line, get the ball snapped as quick as possible. This is a rehearsal right now. They've been through this 1,000 times from training camp, rehearsing what kinds of plays they're going to call, and defensively the same for the Jets.
They're down and 1 from the 19. Gannon with time, pump fakes, runs outside, chased by Cox, chased by Lewis, throws it away. He had no alternative.
He could have thrown it earlier and maybe gotten the first down. It looked like he had an open receiver, but now they're in a fourth down. We said from the beginning, this was 4-down territory from the beginning. 4th down and 1. Now they have to get the first down, so this opens up the running game on this snap.
Executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Terry Ewert. Coordinating director of the NFL on CBS, Larry Cavallina. Today's game produced by Bob Dekas. Today's game directed by Dick Klein. And our senior producer of the NFL today, Eric Mann. Pat McGrath has been our statistician.
Plays like this where the will to win comes into play.
4th and 1 from the 19. Outside, the catch made for a first down to Tim Brown, and there he goes. Aaron Glenn shoved him out of bounds at the 36, a gain of 17. Clock is stopped at 1:13.
Here's Brown, just quick to the outside. The quarterback moved out of the pocket. You saw the little bit of a pick that time by James Jett to the inside. You'll get away with it as long as you're looking back to the quarterback as if trying to find the ball. But there's no doubt about that. That's a little bit of a pick play.
Captivating performance today by Tim Brown. 10 receptions, 154 yards, including a touchdown. 1st and 10 for Gannon. Moving up, Cox has him. Spinning away is Gannon. The throw incomplete. Threw it away. How he got away, I do not know. But he did. It's 2nd down and 10.
Rich Gannon is 6'3", 210 pounds. Brian Cox is a little bigger, 6'4", 250, and I'm guessing a lot stronger.
Gannon so slippery on this play.
Watch right here, though. Just coming away with it and getting the ball up and getting the ball out of bounds. You know, you can throw the ball like that off balance and lay it up for an easy interception. You got it well out of bounds.
2nd down and 10 from the 36. Each team with 2 timeouts. Raiders down by 3.
Nice 5-man rush.
Good time. There's the throw on the money to Jett. Another Raider dropped 6 today. 6 drop passes by Raider receivers.
Marcus Coleman for the New York Jets was in the area, tight coverage, but James Jett should have held on to that football. There was no serious contact. 60 minutes coming up right after our ball game. You see John Gruden is still calling the plays from the sideline when they go back in the huddle. When they're in the true 2-minute, when they don't have a huddle, the quarterback takes over on the field.
3rd and 10 from the 36. 4 receivers platoon. The Jets bring 4 rushers. All blocked well. There's the pass. Caught by Mickens at the Jets 41-yard line. A gain of 23. Ray Mickens tackled Terry Mickens. No relation. And a timeout taken. The Oakland Raiders have 1 left.
Solid protection. What the Jets did, look right here, the coverage. It looked like that Mo Lewis was going to rush. Instead, he dropped back into coverage. They're showing a 5-man rush, and one guy is falling off. That one left the open area. Here comes right up the chute. He's just going to drop into the middle. Protection holds up. Rich Gannon having a good day when he has time to throw it. And quickly, they call the timeout. Rich Gannon turned right to the referee. A veteran quarterback won't chase the ball down. He won't run all the way to where the tackle's made. He turns right to the referee standing beside him and calls timeout.
Plenty of time left as well.
It would have been a different ball game had the field goal been missed or had the Raiders been able to keep them out of field goal range. So that last field goal has played a major role in the outcome of this game. 52 seconds left. Gruden and his Raiders have a 1st down and 10 at the 41-yard line of the Jets. Raiders took over at their own 10 with 1:55 to play. So this is the 8th play of the Oakland drive. Blitz is on. Picked up, going deep, looking down the sideline. It is dropped, incomplete. Looking for the Olympic gold medalist, Jett, covered by Marcus Coleman. The Raiders expected, look at this, they've got 2 blockers in the backfield. They expected the blitz. They got it. 1-on-1 down the field. Just catch the ball. Actually, let's give some credit right here to Marcus Coleman. I think he gets a hand. He does.
Oh, he does.
Gets a hand right on it at the last second.
Great play by Coleman.
Strategy against strategy. Raiders expected the blitz. They got it. Coleman makes the big play for the Jets.
2nd down and 10. Blitz is on. Here comes Stoutmeyer. The floating pass caught by Brown. Makes a move inside the 5. A 36-yard completion to Tim Brown.
Tim Brown against Aaron Glenn. A little bit of a crossing pattern underneath. A gently thrown ball with a lot of pressure on Rich Gannon. And then Tim Brown, nice little move to toss Aaron Glenn his footing. Almost ran it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, seductive fake on Glenn. Pushed out of bounds by Green. First and goal at the 5.
Raiders have one timeout left.
Brown is in motion. Crockett is open. Crockett has the pass. Oh, he dropped it! The 7th drop pass by a Raider receiver today. Incredible. Absolutely indescribable.
Crockett is coming out of the backfield. Number 32 in the flat. Wide open. No excuses. That ball could be like a balloon when it gets that. When you're that open and the ball's laying up that pretty, it's like trying to catch a balloon. It just pops away from you. You've got to open your hands and let the ball come to you.
7 drops. Second down, goal at the 5. Jet is on the move. Gannon rolling. Here comes the rush. Gets away from Lewis. Gets away from Ferguson to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. James Jett. The Oakland Raiders have come back to tie. Now the all-important extra point by Michael Houston. The hold by Ericus. The snap by Adam True. And the Raiders lead the Jets 24-23 after the Jets led this game 20-3.
What's that phrase about on any given Sunday? James Jett, one-on-one with Marcus Coleman. Here he goes up the field. Rich Gannon is the key to this. He keeps the ball alive long enough for James Jett to scramble loose. Marcus Coleman has played a terrific ball game, and he's really all over this coverage right here. Rolling to his right to buy time. Here comes the pressure from the inside from Mo Lewis. He gets away. Not enough pressure that time. And James Jett makes a terrific catch also because Marcus Coleman's right there.
Coleman just about had it. You're exactly right. 42. How Gannon stayed alive and nimbly moved around and got it by Coleman, slipped it by Coleman, is terrific.
Oh boy, just enjoy this one. That's just pure athletic ability. That one is not designed. John Gruden watching this whole thing unfold and knows that his players, I mentioned the will to win, that was the will to win. That's not a design play. That's guys making something happen in their head.
There's the kickoff, the line drive. Soule picked it up and flips it back to Dwight Stone, who is tackled by reserve running back Jermaine Williams. Raiders on top by 1. Jets have 2 timeouts. They're at their 20-yard line.
I will tell you this, it's too early to celebrate. With 2 timeouts and 19 seconds left, a field goal still wins this ball game.
Meyer lines up in the gun. 4 receivers platoon. First and 10. Great time. Down the middle. Intercepted. That'll seal it for the Raiders. Picked off by reserve defensive back Marquise Walker. His first of the year. 11 seconds remain. Raiders have the ball and perhaps the game.
It's now time to celebrate. Rick Meyer with plenty of time. Three-man rush. Everything's more of a desperation pass now. Just tries to see if the receiver of the other end can make something happen and underthrows it. Good coverage that time all the way down the field. The Raiders decide to defend rather than rush, and it pays off. Underthrown pass, and no help from the receiver. He just can't quite get back to it fast enough to knock it away. Wayne Corbett, watch, he's running away from the ball. He can't change directions quick enough once he sees it coming. Anthony Newton, or that's not Marquise Walker, is right there.
The New York Jets have blown their fourth quarter lead this year. They've let slip 4 fourth quarter leads this season. The Raiders win it in a riveting end. For Sam Weiss, Kevin Harlan saying so long.